Well, good morning and welcome into the Friday edition of the Real Monica Adams Show. And I hope you're having a great start to your day. We're heading into a holiday weekend. It's been absolutely beautiful the last couple of days. In fact, I'm going to talk to Beckett Moore here in just a second and see if we can continue this beautiful stretch of weather. A lot of times when we head into Memorial Weekend, we talk about rain, we talk about some humidity. So we'll see if that's the case as we head into the holiday. What I want to know from you is, where are you going to spend your holiday weekend? Hope you get a chance to get out and enjoy it. But yeah, I would love to know if there are events or festivities that you are going to go to. But we also want to remember what this weekend, and especially what Memorial Day, is all about, right? Is to honor those who have fought for us and have lost their lives, all those true heroes. So remember that when we are out and about enjoying our time with our family and friends and talking about the unofficial start of summer. We've got some news you can use coming up, and then we are going to get into Foodie and Fitness Friday. In fact, yesterday was such an interactive show that we didn't get a chance to show you the workout that I had planned for each and every one of you. So today we're going to combine Fitness and Foodie Friday, but we're going to do that after we take care of your weather in a segment we call What the Weather.
Good evening from St. Louis, Missouri, and it is a beautiful one.
And we do that with our friend, aspiring meteorologist Beckett Moore. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? He sounds better, doesn't he? If you heard him on Monday,
Yes.
he was a little hoarse.
Yes, I'm sounding a lot better now.
You and I were talking about this, allergies. So many people are talking about how they are being affected by those. So is mold still high?
Yeah, it is still high. It's really been high since like May 13th, I think, is when I saw it really started getting going. So mold has been a problem really this entire month.
Yeah, it's been crazy. So for all of you, we get it. We've all been dealing with it. And I told Beckett yesterday I had the top down on the convertible, so that probably didn't help our voices.
Yeah.
So do you have plans for the holiday weekend?
Yeah, so we're going to go over to our little cottage in Illinois near Grafton. So looking forward to that.
And when are you leaving?
Tomorrow, Saturday.
Oh, that should be a great time. So yeah, Beckett, obviously, you know, in the weather world that we call this the unofficial start of summer.
Yep.
When does summer actually begin?
Well, meteorological summer actually begins June 1st, but if you look at astronomical, what most people go off, that's later into June for the summer solstice.
Okay, well, fantastic. Again, Beckett's going to take care of us because a lot of people do like to get out and make their plans, hoping to be able to get into the pools that everybody, if they haven't opened them yet, they usually open them this weekend. So let us know what things are looking like as we head into the holiday.
Yeah, so looking at the current conditions right now, we got a temperature around 51 degrees, sunny skies, dew point at 46, so not very humid, and calm wind at 3 miles per hour. Now looking at the bus stop forecast, again, 52, low 50s this morning. We will warm up pretty quickly. Sunny skies with a high of around 73 today, although there will be increasing cloud cover as we head into this afternoon. Still expecting a mix of clouds and sunshine with some clouds, again, increasing in the area. Now looking at our 7-day outlook, again, mostly sunny, high of 73 today, low of 57 tonight. Tomorrow we do cool down, and we'll continue to see that cool down as we head towards Memorial Day. 68 degrees with some morning showers, increasing cloud cover. Overall, we're not looking at a very nice weekend weather-wise, but overall on Saturday, we're going to have some showers around. Sunday, though, that's when we get some more rain to push in with a 50% chance of showers, high of around 66. And then Monday, unfortunately for your Memorial Day, that's when we're going to have the greatest chance for some rain pretty much all day. Sunday does look a little bit better, moving up into the 70s. And then once we get past Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sunny and in the 70s.
Well, shoot. That's what I have to say about that.
Not a great forecast.
No, darn it. I wanted to take the boat out. It's something I started this a couple days ago, Becca. You'll be very proud. He's known me for a while now. You know, I am hard charger. Go, 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 go. And I'm really doing what I mentioned on the show yesterday, which is self-care and slowing down. And I thought, okay, I'm going to get out there on the boat. I need an umbrella for the boat.
Weather happens.
But today would be a good boating day.
It would be, yeah.
Okay, well, before we let you go, you are officially done with your freshman year of school, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so how does it feel? 1 year down into high school, and are you excited about going into sophomore year?
Yeah, I am. I'm definitely for sure excited for it.
Fantastic. All right. So again, he's no longer on the bottom of the totem pole. He's
Yeah,
moving his way up. All
yeah.
right, Becca. Well, thank you so much. Say hello to your family for me. Have a wonderful holiday weekend. We're going to give you the day off on Monday. So if you want to, you can check in with us on Tuesday.
All right, sounds good. Have a
Sound
great
good?
week.
All right. Have a wonderful one.
You too.
All right, everybody, remember to follow Beckett online, and he will always bring you the latest and the most accurate weather. Follow him on X as well as on YouTube, and it's More Weather Official. Check it out. All right, everybody, good morning to you as you sign on. Say hello to your community. And one of the things I'm going to ask you before we get into our Foodie and our Fitness Friday is, what are you doing for the holiday weekend? After just seeing Beckett's forecast, you might be changing your plans up a little bit. We're going to head to dinner tonight at one of our absolute favorite restaurants. Say hello to Jamie and Steve and Christine at Comerick at Trattoria Marcella in the city. We haven't been there in a little while. We want to stop in and see our friends. If you've never seen the piece that we did on them, I might have Jenny go to YouTube and find that for you and drop it into the comments, because it's an incredible, we're really, really proud of the piece that we did on Trattoria Marcella. Good year and a half ago, one of the very first mobile Monicas that we did. I would love it. So can't wait to see them tonight. Let me know what plans you have. All right. I know a lot of you have been coming out big time and helping the community after the tornadoes exactly 1 week ago. This is how fast people forget about those that are still in need. But the donation and the drive, bringing in thousands for the local childcare. Teachers say the need is growing, though. Families lost everything from homes to strollers, and it's only now they're realizing what they need beyond the food and the shelter. So on Wednesday night, thousands of dollars and necessary items poured into City Foundry as an effort to get the basic needs to the folks who need these items the most. We're talking about water, food, ramen noodles, cleaning wipes, diapers, other essential items, and distributing them across the tornado zone. Again, just hoping that the items that they're collecting will help. Well, trust me, every dollar is helping. And what I'm going to stress is, don't let this stop. That's the momentum that we need. In fact, we're going to be talking with Steve Ewing, who was hit hard with his there are many restaurants that were affected in that Del Mar area, many homes affected in the city, in the Central West End, in Clayton. Don't forget about them. And I love seeing this, that Ameren is stepping up also. They're committing $1 million in donations to assist in the tornado recovery. These devastating storms struck at the heart of our communities, impacting customers, employees, neighbors, and friends. That's what the chairman, the president, and the chief executive officer of Ameren said. He said seeing the damage firsthand was heartbreaking. The $1 million commitment is one more way that they're standing shoulder to shoulder with the communities that they serve. Ameren says it will donate $750,000 to the United Way of Greater St. Louis, the American Red Cross, the Salvation Army, the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis, and the City of St. Louis's Tornado Response Fund, and then also providing $250,000 in energy assistance support for income-eligible customers directly impacted by the storms in Missouri and Illinois. And I think a lot of people are wondering, how's everybody doing? Are they getting back to their normal life? The answer is no. We're talking about the damage that's going to affect for not days, but weeks, maybe even months to come. And we've been talking about the hashtag St. Louis Strong. Well, I love this. The St. Louis Blues stepping up and saying that they've got a t-shirt saying just that. The St. Louis Strong t-shirt is available online right now at STL Authentics. 100% of the proceeds will benefit the American Red Cross disaster relief efforts and the United Way of Greater St. Louis Severe Storm Tornado Relief Fund. The shirts, by the way, go for $32.99. Proceeds go to the organizations that I just mentioned. Again, it's the St. Louis Blues and the STL Authentics. You can go online and find out more about this. There's a link to purchase a shirt. I'm going to send this story to Jenny. She's going to put it in the comments for you. So on the link to be able to purchase those and support St. Louis. Now, I was talking to Beckett about this and asking him if he knew about the weather that is going into the New England states. So I know a lot of people travel for Memorial Weekend. It is an uncommon May nor'easter that is bringing rain, and I mean big time rain, that we saw yesterday. and even the possibility of snow just before Memorial Day weekend. It's not common, by the way. Nor'easters are usually winter weather events, and it's unusual to see them in May. They typically form where there are large temperature differences from west to east during winter, where there's cold air over land in the oceans, and that's where it's relatively warm. However, right now there's a traffic jam in the atmosphere because of an area of high pressure in the Canadian Arctic that is allowing unusually cold air to funnel down over the Northeast. So if you know anybody that is traveling again to our New England states, let them know there were flight cancellations and delays. In fact, I think I saw about 60 flights that were canceled. Yeah, more than 60 at Boston Logan International Airport, where there were also more than 300 delayed flights. The Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority shut down 3 commuter ferries because of rough seas. In Cape Elizabeth, Maine, lobster boats shook on the water as high winds brought choppy seas. Providence was hit with wind and steady rains by the mid-afternoon. The storm hit Boston, again, Rhode Island. So I know a lot of you travel. If you're going to see family and friends, just know that they could be affected by that. And we always want to cover all over, because this show, I have a lot of friends that I worked with in radio and television, and they're looking at doing something here local. We've been local for 2.5 years, and now what I'm excited about is we have people watching from all over. I've got friends in Colorado that are now watching us, and I say friends because they really have become a part of this tribe. Jeannie's on right now watching from Texas. We've got Paula in Chianti watching us in Italy, and friends that were in California, in Nevada. So do us a favor. That's the biggest thing that we always say is share this show with your friends, your family. Let them know that, yes, we do some news you can use that we all talk about. And we also ask, obviously, St. Louis is hit hard by the tornadoes, but we've got people talking about this all over the world and trying to see, well, what can we do in other cities and states as well? So we are now branching out of Missouri and Illinois and getting the Real Monica Adams show all over for you. So welcome aboard, by the way. We love to have you this morning, and we encourage you to come back again day after day and start your day with what we need more of, which is, again, that hope and the light and the positivity that we're looking for in the world. So thanks again for tuning in again to the Real Monica Adams show. Hey, we've been talking about this for a while, and I think it's kind of ironic because when I get into the National Day of calendar, you'll be like, well, that's kind of funny. The U.S. Mint, they are moving forward to eliminate the penny. What? Yep, it's going bye-bye. A lot of you are probably like, oh yeah, I haven't used those in a long time. I still have a ton, but the Treasury Department is halting the penny production after centuries in circulation. The U.S. Mint projects $56 million in annual savings, by the way, from the reduced material cost. They're phasing out the production. It's been in circulation for centuries. As pennies fade from use, businesses will need to round up or down to the nearest 5 cents. That's according to the Wall Street Journal. Now, I'm just going to go forward for you because I think it's kind of ironic that that today is National Lucky Penny Day. Come on, I can't write this any better. That's true, folks. Today is National Lucky Penny Day and some other things in our National Day of calendar. But I thought that was kind of crazy, don't you? That we're talking about halting it, and then boom, today it shows up in that. This actually happened the other day. I didn't get a chance to talk about it. So for some of you, it might be brand new news. Did you see that Cheers store? Let's all collectively say it together. Norm! As soon as he would walk in the door, they'd all shout that. Well, the actor and the comedian George Wendt has died peacefully in his sleep. It happened Tuesday morning at the age of 76. How many of you loved watching? I loved Cheers. I really did. It just, I don't know. It just made you feel good about community coming together. And that's what we're all about here. So rest in peace, George, or again, we say Norm. Another story I didn't get a chance to tell you about yesterday, but in health news, I do want you to know this if you didn't see it. Cucumbers being recalled for salmonella after dozens were sickened across 15 different states. And Illinois, by the way, is one of them. Not Missouri, but Illinois. At least 26 people have been sickened. Alabama, California, Colorado, Florida, again, as I mentioned, Illinois, also Kansas, Kentucky, Michigan, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia. So again, symptoms of salmonella: diarrhea, fevers, severe vomiting, dehydration, and stomach cramps. Most people get sick they recover within a week. Infections, though, can be severe in young children, older adults, and people with weakened immune systems who may require hospitalization. So again, the cucumbers, they are whole cucumbers being recalled. They were grown by Bedner growers and distributed by Fresh Start Produce between April 29th to May 19th. And we always tell you about these. You can contact the store to see if you can take them back for a full refund, or again, just throw them away because we don't want you to get sick. All right, in sports news, we've got our Cards in action against the Arizona Diamondbacks. They're here in town. First pitch is at 7:15. Same two teams tomorrow at 1:15. And with Beckett's forecast, I'm going to wonder if they'll get these games in. Sunday's game, by the way, is at 1:15. And St. Louis City SC, they have got to get a win. They are still winless this season. So they're in action tomorrow. Game time in St. Louis is at 8:30. They are coming off of a 3-2 loss against Minnesota. I told you about the penny, also on tap today for our National Day of Calendar, National Road Trip Day. Of course, the Friday before Memorial Day, a lot of people on the roads. And the good news is your gas prices are down. National Cooler Day, of course. A lot of you going out in the water or on the boats. Again, unofficial start of summer. National Cooler Day is also the Friday before Memorial Day. National Don't Friday, put on your SPF, and is also National Taffy Day. So there you go. That's how we do it. Get you all up to date. I hope you're having a great start to your day. Let me see who's signing on with us. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Jenny. Jeannie, good morning. Sean, good morning. Stephanie, good morning. I'm packing for Europe in the air on Memorial Day. Be careful out there. Hope storms don't affect you. She said, yes, New England is bracing itself. My whole family lives there. I was born there. Well, Jeannie, please pass along our thoughts and prayers to them. Won't be you're funny, Jeannie. Won't be penniless anymore. Erica, loved him. Yep, Norm, right? Stephanie, that's funny. I found 2 lucky pennies on the ground yesterday. Well, a lot of people might be throwing them around, or maybe you're going to be hoarding them. Rose, at my Bible study last night, I was telling everyone to tune in to you this morning. One asked if I was your promoter. I said, no, just bucking for a bigger Know Your Value mug. Okay, that's right. You want a bigger mug. Jenny, take note of that. We need bigger coffee mugs or tea mugs. Hey, Babs, my son in Newbury, Massachusetts said yesterday, hey, I had heavy rain. Nor'easter. I know Michelle just came back from the Massachusetts area. She's from that area, but came back home probably just in time. So if Michelle, by the way, signs on, or maybe we can shoot her a text, we can find out if she did have any problems with rain, because it may have been moving in just then, or she may have gotten out just before it. So she's from Manchester area as well. So probably using, I would imagine, Boston Logan International. Okay, folks, it is 7:18. So we've got a Foodie Friday on tap for you and a Fitness Friday. And then I want to know, drop in the comments, where are you spending Memorial weekend? That's what I want to know. All right. Jenny said she made a note, and I do want to give a shout out to Jenny and to all of you parents. We just asked Beckett about yesterday being the last day. I know that we did. Good morning, Julie Fabian. I know we did bus stop forecast, and I don't know if anybody is still taking the kids to the bus stop or if they're all done with school. Let me know if you have kids or grandkids, nieces, and whatever, still in school. So she said, pray for me, my emotions today, because her baby graduates 5th grade today, McKenna, and Alyssa is going to be a sophomore, just like Beckett. Last day of school, she's got all the emotions running wild, which I know a lot of you do, right? The kids throw the cap and gown in the air. They're done with high school, maybe college, on to their young adult or adult life. I know, folks. I know. Parents are always like, oh my gosh, my baby. I remember when they were in 1st grade. I love you all, right? Big, massive hug to each and every one of you. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to do fitness. We're going to do food. We're going to talk about some big events coming up for the rest of May. We got a big makeover show on tap for you at the Vault next week. And then not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, we'll all be showing up for our dear friend, Brian McKenna. Your vibe attracts your tribe. It again is on May 31st, where Macklin will be shut down and thousands will come out to remember remember that beautiful soul from Devonshire to Nottingham. Join us for the celebration of Brian. Come out big time, and donations still being accepted. We would love for you to help out in any way that you can. Hello to Joy. Oh, I've got some new names I don't recognize. Kathleen, good morning. Have a great weekend to you. Let's see. Joy Hannock. 6 grandkids have a half day today. Okay, thank you for letting me know. So some kids still in school. Joy, where are you watching us from, by the way? Janet, good morning. I'm glad I found you. I've been listening to you. Just program. So now I'm glad I got you back. Well, Janet, I'm glad you did as well. Lori Campworth, where are you watching from? Taking our granddaughters to the zoo tomorrow, hoping the rain stays away. I'm heading down to meet some friends in about an hour and a half. They're having coffee. I'm having tea. And one of them is bringing their 2 kids along and then heading off to the zoo today. So that should be fun for a lot of you. Yeah, let me know. Where are you celebrating the holiday weekend? And are you changing plans now that you saw the weather? Okay, food first, and then we'll work off the calories that we burn in our fitness side. Foodie and Fitness Friday on tap for you.
My house is so outdated and old. Can you help?
Let's take down this wall and add a support beam there.
Or just replace the furniture.
I love it.
New sofa, chaise lounge, and tables from Carroll House.
What about this bedroom?
Let's tear down this wall.
Or a new bed, dresser, and accessories.
It's like a whole new room.
Get free in-home design, fast free delivery, and free financing too. Skip the remodel. Add new furnishings from Carroll House for your new perfect room. Because you like nice things.
Well, welcome in everybody to our Foodie Friday. Steve, well, hang on, it makes sense. Hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
Steve, you're a hot dog. Steve Ewing,
right.
folks. He's been on the show before. You know him, you love him. Today is a very powerful show. We're obviously in the Slyman Brothers kitchen here in Baldwin, and I want you to come here for incredible appliances. By the way, have you ever seen one of these induction stoves?
Yeah, those are great. We love
Do
the
you have one of
induction
these?
stoves. We have one of those at the restaurant. Yeah,
It's so
great.
fun. So if I keep
Yeah.
taking that up and down, it's like, hey, and like if you have kids, which I don't, but if you do, they can do this.
That surface won't be hot. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
This. Well, again, you can check them all out. They've got incredible appliances, as you can see. Wolf, Sub-Zero, Cove, check them out. They've got that South County location and the West County location. Today, obviously, Steve's known for grilling and smoking those hot dogs. But what if I go and pick something up from one of your locations and I want to heat it up a little bit? Is it okay to do what we're doing today?
Yeah. So the best way to do it is like put it on the stove, something like this, whatever, or put it back on the grill. But the stove is great like this. Cover it up, get a little steam to it, so it doesn't like get too crazy or whatever, and burn.
And then
But-
really, I mean, that's the thing. We don't want to take it from the masterpiece that you just made for us
Right.
and then ruin it. So
Yep.
you can hear it sizzling.
That's great.
How
Yep.
long would we leave it on?
I would only do it for a couple minutes.
A couple minutes?
Yep.
Okay. So you have been in business now, and we're going to talk about what obviously happened. And this is why we wanted to bring Steve on,
Mhm.
is to talk about how the community can help. You opened your original location how many years ago?
Gosh, it's been about 15 years
I
now.
was going to say, I remember coming when you first opened.
Yeah.
I remember going to one of the Hill wine walks. And
Oh
then
my
coming,
gosh,
and
yes.
I tell you this all the time. And I
Yes.
made my husband put that Darth Vader mask on.
Ah,
So much fun. And obviously the community has come out and supported just to come and support and buy and obviously patronize. But now it's a whole nother level. So from the bottom of all of our hearts, I'm so sorry what you and so many others have been through. And we're going to talk about how the restaurant community has come out big time, as well as St. Louis Strong, right?
that's right. So you can go to our website. We have a GoFundMe page right now that's really designed to help all of our displaced workers. So we have, people from the Fountain and people from Steve's Hot Dogs who don't have employment right now.
Right.
So that's what this is all about, is like making sure they can, we can still support them while we're getting back on our feet.
Yeah, I've got to say, so let's just run through. So you've got how many locations now?
With the stadiums, we have 7 locations.
7, right.
Yeah.
So remember, they're inside. If you want to go to St. Louis City SC, you can support them there. You've got Steve's Meltdown. We've been to the one in Chesterfield, which I absolutely love. All right, I'm almost done with these, right?
Yeah, you're good.
Are they good?
Yeah, they're good.
Okay, we're going to take it off. So that's what you would do. Just heat it up a little bit. But what we're going to learn from Steve is what you all go to Steve's Hot Dogs for. This is probably one of the most popular hot dogs, right?
That's correct.
The city dog?
This we're gonna make a Chicago dog today. Yes.
All right.
So
I'm gonna let you do your thing.
all right. So
Gosh, it smells yummy.
I know we smoke them and we grill them, so like we get that backyard fire taste. So yeah, we're gonna make a couple of these Chicago dogs.
And can we just talk about, because we all had hot dogs when we were growing up, right? So as a kid, it was who knows what was in those hot dogs, but that's way back then.
Yes.
Now you want to stress that it's a different hot dog now.
Now we just use a super high quality all beef hot dog. So there's not a crazy amount of fillers in them. There's less sodium in them. They're just better hot dogs. So. And
you and I get this, right? You know, I'm a trainer. He's a bodybuilder, and you just came off of doing a show, didn't you?
I did a show last spring, not this spring, but last spring.
You have one coming up. Are you training for anything right now?
I'm training for a show this summer. So yeah.
Yeah. So he gets the temple of the body and the importance of eating healthy. And that's why, you know, people who say, okay, I want to eat healthy. Can I eat a hot dog? The answer is
yes.
The answer is yes. And it's only at Steve's.
The answer is yes. That's correct. No doubt.
So, okay. So if they're coming in, what is the most popular dog that they're ordering from you?
Chicago is a very popular dog. So it's kind of like it's popular in Chicago, obviously, but people come into St. Louis, they go, oh, you got a Chicago dog? I'm like, yes, we do. The difference is we make ours with our ingredients, with our smoked and grilled dog. Companion makes the bread for us here locally in St. Louis.
Love how you give back to everyone that's in the restaurant community.
We always do. And then, you know, we slice our own pickles and relish and all that stuff, whatever. So we don't use like the typical stuff that you would buy in a Chicago dog. We do everything as our own here.
So what is a typical Chicago dog? If someone's coming from Chicago and they say, this is what's on our dogs.
It would be Vienna beef. It would have the poppy seed bun, and it would have what we call the Technicolor relish.
Technicolor relish.
But we use regular dill relish on it. Yes.
So this is dill.
That's
this is
dill.
This is what Zach was smelling. He's like, I smell that relish already. So tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
Pickles.
Pickles.
Relish.
Chopped onion relish. Sport peppers, celery salt.
Wait, what kind of peppers?
These are called sport peppers.
Sport peppers?
Yes.
Do we have to have them at a stadium? Okay, I did not know these were called sport peppers.
That's what they're called, yeah.
I love these.
They're like little chilies. They're only a tiny bit spicy.
Let's try them.
Yeah, they're good. No, it's not going to hurt you.
I don't like spice.
Yeah.
I'm making a mess. Oh, they're like a banana pepper or pepperoni. Oh, a little spicier.
Correct.
Oh, I like that. And that's on a typical, Chicago dog.
On Chicago
and then is that little pepper or is that a little mix?
Salt.
Celery salt.
And celery salt is awesome. It just kind of for everything. Celery salt just ties everything together, ties flavors.
Oh my God, that pepper's good. Okay, once again, if you're just tuning in, it is our Foodie Friday segment. We are at Slyman Brothers. Again, remember them when it is time for you to get a new appliance. You can find out about these induction stoves, which are so super cool, gas stoves as well. And I want you to check out their Baldwin location or their South County location. We're with Steve Ewing today with Steve's Hot Dogs. We're going to dress this up. But then we're going to talk about really what we can do as a community after everything the devastation that happened from exactly 1 week ago. That's really why I wanted to bring Steve on is days go by so quickly. I don't want people to forget because they all came out in the beginning, but I don't want weeks to go by where all of a sudden they move on with their life and they forget about, hey, whoa, we're still over here trying to open back up for you. So you can have these wonderful things.
Definitely keep ourselves out there because there's a lot of need in the entire community. So.
Yes.
Definitely keep it going, yeah.
And we'll talk about, Central West End being hit, Clayton being hit, that Del Mar area. We'll talk about how his restaurants have been affected, but also the camaraderie in the restaurant community is so super strong. I love the tornado relief event that took place just a couple of days ago. Thank you all for coming out for that. Before we do that, though, let's go ahead and dress these babies up. So which goes first?
Okay, cool.
I'm going to make one. You're going to make one.
Okay, all right, great.
This is yours.
Tomato slice.
Tomato slices?
Yep.
Okay.
Pickle slice.
Here, let's do it fast.
Like that, right? I'm probably made like 100,000 of these.
Exactly. I was just going to say, how many dogs do you do in a day?
A lot.
The answer is many.
Lot, yes. And then we put some relish on it.
I'm looking. It's like cheating in school. I'm looking over my shoulder. How's he doing it?
And then I'm just going to throw some onions on there too.
This smells good. a little onion, a little sport pepper. I learned
Yep.
something new today.
I'll tell you, I'm gonna put my mustard on before I put my sport pepper on.
Okay, and then so the pepper will be on top.
Yep.
And then the celery salt goes on after.
Yep.
Okay. I'm reaching over them.
I'll put a few of these little babies on there like that.
Okay. So this Chicago dog is one of the favorites, Steve said.
Yep.
What would you say would be maybe second and third runner up?
Our St. Louis City dog is very popular as well.
What's on that?
That one's got grilled bell pepper, grilled onions, got provolone cheese.
Gotta have provolone cheese.
And it has bacon and it has a smoked pepper mustard.
Oh.
Yep. So that one is that one's really popular. That we have that one at the City Stadium. That's kind of like our signature dog for there.
How has that been for you, by the way? I love that you're there.
The city games are amazing, as
They
you know. Like
are.
they're so much fun, and it's just been great for us. The team has been amazing to us.
And look, you
And,
can have me. Is that good?
That's good. We got to put a little mustard on there.
I don't have any
Yeah,
mustard.
yeah.
Oh, that's shoot. You put mustard before
That's
the
fine.
pepper.
That's totally fine.
All right,
yeah.
so now you can separate and you know which one was mine. I messed up. Whee!
That's fantastic.
So
Look at that.
mustard or ketchup on hot dog or both?
So that's a good question.
Good.
If you're in Chicago, you don't put ketchup on a hot dog.
And why?
You will get yelled at.
Ah, now we know.
But if you're in St. Louis, you can put anything you like on there. You can put barbecue sauce,
Hot sauce.
ketchup, hot sauce.
Yes.
You can
A
put
little
all kinds of
sriracha.
stuff on there. Yes, sriracha
Oh,
is
interesting.
amazing.
So I did not know. So
Yes.
Chicago doesn't do ketchup.
They don't.
Okay, yeah, I like mustard. Now, is this regular or is this a spicy mustard?
This is just yellow mustard.
Yellow mustard.
Yep.
So do you have like Dijon mustard and like that?
Yep.
Steve,
We have
also?
a spicy brown mustard, a yellow
Mhm.
mustard, and we have our smoked pepper mustard.
So from 15 years ago, when you first opened Steve's Hot Dogs, did you always do the smoking and grilling, or was that evolved over the years?
That was something that happened from the beginning. So what we learned early on before we opened the restaurant is that smoking, for one, outside just kind of gives you that
Well, it draws everybody
barbecue
in.
feel, draws people in, and then we after tasting the hot dogs from doing that, we're like, oh, this is our thing. We have to do.
Well, you can
So-
smell the difference in the Steve's Hot Dog.
Yep.
And by the way, if you've never been, I want you to support them. When you go to a game, look for them. And again, the City SC games are just, the energy is
Yeah.
electric there.
Yeah, it's amazing.
What are they, the St. Louligans?
St. Louligans, yeah.
Well, you have
Yeah.
to see them beforehand because they're usually like right across the street and they do a little parade going
Yep.
in.
They always have a pregame over Schlafly, and
Yes.
then they come over. Yep.
It's so much fun. Again, if you're just tuning in, we're doing our Foodie Friday show from Simon Brothers Appliances, again in Baldwin on Manchester. We invited Steve to come over. Look at these are so amazing looking, ready to eat,
Yep.
and this is what we want. So what I wanted to provide today, Steve, was hope. Hope after what we all went through a week ago. Some of you, maybe your homes, your cars, your restaurant businesses, your businesses. So many people have been affected. Lives have been lost, right? We've been talking about our thoughts and prayers going out because we see these things happen in other cities and we hope it doesn't happen to us. Now all eyes are on St. Louis because
That's
of
right.
what happened. So let's look at some pictures to run through what happened with Steve's locations, as well as I mentioned, the sisterhood and the brotherhood in the restaurant industry is absolutely amazing. So walk us through some of this. Again, where were you, by the way, when the tornadoes happened?
I was downtown. So I was downtown. I was actually trying to get ready for the Urge had a show the next day. So I was just trying to tie some
You
things
had Point
together.
Fest, right?
Yeah, Point Fest.
Yeah.
So I was getting ready for that, and my partner Marcus called me and said, "Can you get over to Del Mar? Tornado just hit." I said yes. So I'm heading over to Del Mar, and what I saw was unbelievable. Trees were down. I tried to get through. I never made it, actually. I tried to get through, and trees were down in Central West End and all over through the park, so you couldn't actually get to our restaurant from where I was at. So it was pretty crazy. So this is all I'm hearing. And what I did hear is that the staff got in the walk-in. So that the walk-in kind of saved everybody because the winds were so crazy. They got out of their cars, out of the restaurant, into the walk-in, and that's what saved everybody because it was nuts.
And
So-
again, you're looking at some of these pictures and you're like, is this real? This is real. And it happens. The crazy thing is how fast it came in.
Mhm.
And then suddenly beautiful sunny skies.
Yeah.
And did that just happen? And now it's the picking up afterwards. So
Yeah, it's pretty. It's hard to put in words actually when you go through the area. and you see the destruction. It's really hard to describe it. It's pretty bad.
So when did you finally get on scene to see all of this?
I got in there just after on Saturday for a little bit, and which was great because my crew and friends and family all came out to help like clean up like right away on that Saturday. But just driving through the neighborhood and driving to the restaurant was pretty devastating, like to see all that destruction.
I mean, look at this. So we're talking about Steve's Hot Dogs. And again, when did you open your Del Mar location?
We opened the Del Mar location last fall.
So yeah, so it's not even been a year yet.
Yeah, we haven't been a year yet.
And then you're also in a partnership with Danny Eichenhorst.
Eichenhorst.
And so Danny has the fountain on Locust and the fountain on Del Mar. So oh gosh, Steve and Danny, and I was reaching out to Danny and like, what can we do? What can we do? So the community has come together, and I mentioned earlier about the brotherhood and the sisterhood. So there are people that I want you to follow big time and support these guys. So obviously Steve's Hot Dogs on social media, but also a shout out to Quitron. We love Qui.
Yeah, Qui's great.
He has been amazing trying to get everyone together. Gerard Kraft, wonderful. I know Katie has been doing some stuff with Katie's Pizza and giving 100% of proceeds to, because she'll do her Giving Back Tuesdays.
Yeah.
But she decided to do 100% because that's what's needed right now. There was also a GoFundMe, and I love this. I had a feeling as soon as I clicked on the link that St. Louis was going to show up. The original idea was, well, I really loved Danny's post, by the way. She was like, we talked about this and it's hard to ask. And we thought, do we really put a GoFundMe out there?
Yeah.
And then she realized St. Louis wants to show up.
They want to help. Yep. So same thing. I've been getting a lot of requests for how do we help. People really want to help. So that's what we need the most is we need to take care of the crew and the staff and the people.
Yes.
Right now that are no longer working. So there's no location. So yeah.
And that's what I want you to all see as you're looking at these pictures. Yes, you say, okay, can they rebuild? Which we'll ask Steve in just a second. Can they rebuild? What needs to be done? How do we help? Oh my gosh, that's right. Nobody can work.
Yeah.
So it's all these people that are like that without a job. And so if you watch this post that Danny had put out, it was, okay, we did put this GoFundMe out and we're asking so that we can help pay their wages, that they can have this until we're able to rebuild.
And we can get open, yeah.
10,000 was the goal. And last I looked, you're like nearing 12,000.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's anywhere near done, by the way. So we've got it here that you'll be able to go. And I'm asking all of you, you're all very giving, to help them out. So that's the big question, Steve. With your locations, and we can't speak for everybody else, are you able to reopen? And if so, what time frame?
We're thinking about a month. So hopefully within a month we can get back open. We got to make sure that, we have electricity and gas and make sure that the place is safe for people to get in there. So we have a few things to do, but I'm hoping we get open in a month. And
that's good to hear.
Yeah, start. In the meantime, we are going to use the area out front though to just serve food to folks.
Yeah.
So with some of those donations, we'll just buy food, cook them up on the grill out front, and just hand food out. So we'll be doing that pretty much all throughout the time we're trying to get back open again.
And that was the thing, that the community has come together. A lot of you went out and you're making food to try to help people, help them eat as they're cleaning up, or just be able to have, because they didn't have power, wondering when they were going to get their power back on. As we mentioned, there was a tornado relief effort event that took place on Wednesday night, but it's not. And I think that's the big thing we want to stress today. Don't think like, okay, there's something here, and maybe something this weekend that's going to take place, and then we go into next week and it always wraps up. It's not. There's so much damage and so much work to do.
A lot of need for a long time.
Yeah. So again, if you've got something that you are creative and you think, hey, maybe I can hold this for them, and what can we do for them? Again, you think about the restaurant owners, you think about the chefs, you think about the staff, all of them not being able to work. I was mentioning to Steve before we went on, Ben Paremba and his locations. We don't know, but I was asking, like, Steve, if you had to look up and down in the Central West End, in the city, et cetera, who sustained the most damage? You were thinking it was Eska?
Yeah, just coming up the street. It's just hard to tell, because everybody's still cleaning up and moving stuff, whatever. But coming up from Del Mar or coming up from Kings Highway, you can just see everybody along that vertical stretch. There's just a ton of damage, and that's Eska there, and you can just see the front end of it's out. So, yeah.
People were describing when it happened, and obviously at that point, trying to save your life. trying to, and as you mentioned, your team all going and being able to go in and secure themselves away from the wind and the storms that were coming, the tornado obviously that came. But people are now picking up, and it's very emotional because they're seeing bricks that obviously should be on the outside that are inside, busted. And as you're mentioning, power outage, and then food going bad, and lives being lost, and jobs being taken away. But we have to have hope.
We do.
We can't just, and that's the metaphor of life. We can't stay in the darkness of it all, that there is calmness after the storm, but it is, how can we all help? So that's the greatest thing, Steve. So obviously, when you reopen, come and support him and all of their restaurants, continuing to keep an eye to their pages. And as they get back open, they're going to continue to try to help the brothers and the sisters that are in the industry that maybe feel like that they can't. I'm hoping that we're not going to hear that anybody cannot come back from it, but they don't know right now.
I'm hoping too. I'm hoping everybody can find their way back into their locations and get back open again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Again, folks, we wanted to do a special, a little bit of a different Foodie Friday, okay? So yes, having fun always, but when it comes to something like this, it is, let's be strong together and remember to continue to give back and get out of your own way and understand what you can do. So what would you say to the community that has already come out to help, but also to make them have that energy to keep going and keep helping?
Just understand that the destruction is massive. It's all the entire city, and there's a lot of people who will probably never come back to their homes.
Yeah.
But the people who are trying to get back in, continue to help out. This is going to take a long time, years, I think.
Yeah.
So just continue to help out. Come in the area and support. All the restaurants are going to have ways that you can support. There's going to be, Red Cross and all these other organizations. Any way you can, continue to help. You can use it. Because
Steve, there's a lot of people in the community that are like, and actually it was one of the news stories that we did earlier in the week. Where's the National Guard? How come this isn't happening? Obviously, people want things in an immediate aspect, right?
Sure.
They were getting mad. What's Ameren doing? Are they out there? They are. They were working.
They're out
there. I'm glad. So I want to hear you say that, because some people say, no, they're not. But they were. They're working literally round the clock, barely sleeping 6 or 7 hours, I heard.
There's people coming from other states to help out with the electricity and gas and all that kind of stuff. So they're out there. Everybody's trying the best they can. So
from a life coaching standpoint, what does it teach you? It's resilience. It's also learning that we can be on the top of our game.
You can get knocked down really fast. But yes, it's all about figuring out how are we going to get back into this, and how are we going to help the people around us, because they're important to us.
Well, this is Mr. St. Louis right here, right?
Yeah.
All right, even in the bodybuilding aspect. Look, I saw a recent Instagram post, so I'm going to make you do it.
Okay.
When it gets really, really busy in the kitchen, what do you do?
No.
What do you do to keep them busy? I'll do it with you.
You saw that, didn't
did
you?
see it.
Oh my gosh. I did twirl around, didn't I? Yes. That's an illustration of how I cannot dance.
Yes, you did. That's what he has to do when it's busy, and we want it to be busy all over again. In the meantime, though, so the locations that are good that you can go and support, make sure that you do that. So go down to. You want to give them the rundown? Actually, I don't. Zach, do we have a rundown of all the locations? Okay, so we'll let Steve run them down for us.
So our South Grand location is open. You can go to our Chesterfield location at the district. And we have Steve's Meltdown in the City Foundry, and we have all of our Steve's Hot Dogs locations in the stadiums.
In the stadiums, absolutely. So, all right, we're going to take a bite of this. So Steve's Hot Dogs, this particular one is the Chicago dog.
Yeah.
You have a vegan dog still also?
We have an entire vegan menu, so we can make every dog vegan if you like.
See, so there you go. So if it is from a health standpoint, don't forget this. And I love the fact from the companion aspect that everybody in St. Louis that is a diehard giving back from the restaurant industry, they all help each other out. You ready to take a big bite?
Yeah.
Let's do this. How many hot dogs do you eat in a week's time?
Oh my gosh, I'm always nibbling. That's what I do. I go in the kitchen and nibble. I'm a grazer. That's right.
We should have said, how's mine? How's yours? Oh my God. Oh, that is very good. Oh, you can taste that. That's real.
All comes together in Chicago. That is awesome.
All right, Chicago, we're going to give you some mad props. Thank you, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
So much. And again, folks, support and keep an eye and follow them. It's the biggest thing, because when you want to know what's going on in our area and where you can help out, where you need to be, how you can give back, be sure to follow all of them on social media. That is the best way to do so. Thank you all so much. Thanks to Steve Ewing, Steve's Hot Dogs, and thanks to Slyman Brothers Appliances. Their Manchester location is where we are, but they have two, South County as well as the Baldwin location. If you have a restaurant owner or a chef that you would love for us to feature, shoot me an email, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. Let's bring them on for a Foodie Friday. Oh, Steve, I can't thank you enough. Wasn't that fun? I hope you all enjoyed that. Again, Steve's Hot Dogs, and continue to support the locations that are open and thriving. And then, of course, can't wait for hopefully a month or a month and a half for them to reopen in the Del Mar district. We just mentioned about the big event on Wednesday where people are putting fundraisers together. There's crowdfunding links that are out there to raise money. Originally, it was $10,000, again, that Danny Eichenhorst and Steve Ewing put out there to see if people could donate, as we were talking about, to help with the employees that right now are out of a job. There's also an event coming up tomorrow. This is Katie's Tornado Relief, the weekend give back, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. All Katie's locations, by the way, and 100% of the proceeds will be donated to Catholic Charities, Archdiocese of St. Louis, and then the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis, as well as the American Red Cross. And yes, you heard me correct. All of her locations and 100% of the proceeds. So Katie, thank you to you and your team for doing that. She always picks an organization to do her Give Back Tuesday, but this time it's tomorrow. And so it's Memorial Weekend. A lot of people love to go out to eat dinner. I would highly recommend that you go to one of the Katie's Pizzeria locations, or the new one down by Ballpark Village. That's supposed to be incredible. I need to get down there. And then all those proceeds from Saturday will go to those in need. All right, folks. So we eat the hot dogs, or we eat well. It's all about the Foodie Friday. And then we have to work it off, right? So we promised you some fitness and a elevated leg workout. That's coming for you next.
This lady got me in the best shape of my life. I literally didn't know that I could be in shape like that. But the amount that she pours into her clients, and especially whenever you get the one-on-one training, it's mind-blowing. I mean, it was really life-changing. I learned so much about proper form, about nutrition, about just being able to invest in myself. I hired Monica to be my personal trainer, which was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
And yes, we talk about this a lot. Our brand can do a lot of things for you. And one of those is from a personal training standpoint, but we can also help you with the entire triangle, right? The physical side, the mental side, the spiritual side. So if you're interested, I do have some openings for classes, semi-private training, private training, and life coaching to get you to the best possible version of yourself. Let's do this together. info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. We've got a good amount of you on as you're heading into the holiday weekend. I mentioned earlier, I'd love to know what your plans are. What do you have on tap? Jeannie, thanks. Great organizations, Catholic Charities. I did a fundraiser in February for Catholic Charities. Well, thank you, Jeannie, for all that you do as well. Okay, so you eat well, and then you want to get that weight off. Well, I want you to go to Crunch Fitness. This is the cycling area, and I love it. Yesterday, I was looking at how excited they were to offer their first classes. So they just opened their doors on Manchester Road. That's their second location. Their first is in Florissant. Then the second's right there at 141 in Manchester. Their third one's coming to you, St. Charles County, in St. Peters, most likely in July. And then who knows? I'm kind of privy to some of the negotiations that are going on that might be heading into the city for the fourth location, but they're going to be opening probably 17 to 20 of them before it's all said and done. So look for Crunch Fitness to come to your area very soon. So yeah, I'm excited about the classes. I've never usually been a big class person. I'm usually found right here. I love the gym area, and that is where, by the way, me and Jim worked out yesterday We did a great back workout, and I'm going to table that to next week, and I'll show you the importance of working out with your loved ones, right? Whether it's friends or you want to do a couples workout. I did a solo leg workout and then went into the recovery area. They have red light therapy as well as look at those hydro massage beds, which I will like, I cannot believe that I haven't had those in my life. They also have tanning for those that are big into tanning. All of that offered up in your Peak Results membership. So it's like unlimited. It's amazing. So Crunch Fitness, if you haven't heard, they are our latest sponsor. And by the way, we're really excited because it is our first national sponsor. But we want to thank every one of them. This show is brought to you by Crunch Fitness. Just Pools, I want to welcome officially as we head into the unofficial summer holiday as people open up their pools. Just Pools, Madonna and her staff are back on with us for the summer. I'm so excited to bring them back on. Just Pools in the Arnold area. Carroll House Furniture, of course, where all of our furniture is from, where when we're on set. Regional Dermatology and Dr. Sarah Jensen will be back with us on Monday, the very first Monday of June. Yuppie Puppy Pet Spa and Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue. Defiance Ridge Vineyards, where we do our Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. We'll be back with Chuck next week. And then Dot Fleshman, Real Estate Agent Extraordinaire. You can be listed in that if you would like to become a sponsor. We'd love to welcome you on board as well. We bring like-minded individuals together, making sure that you are an optimistic person, that you want better for the world. And if you align with our mission, then hey, shoot me an email right now, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. All right. Yesterday, I wanted to show you this leg workout, but you were so interactive yesterday with the self-care topic that, yeah, I know, Julie, right? Lots of hydro beds. I think they probably have 8 to 10 there. So you just go up to the front and tell them that you want to get into the red light therapy, or tell them that you want to go on the hydro massage beds, or that you want to go into tanning. They put you right in there. I might tell you what, as Dan Hatfield, who is the GM of the Manchester location, said, he's been in the industry for a long time, and he said he's never, ever, ever had a team like he's had here. He's really proud of the team that he's formed. And I am as well. They are super friendly, super helpful, and the place is just absolutely beautiful. So let's get to it. So if you're looking for a good leg workout, I had so much fun. This was my setup. So very simple. I found my area, stayed within the area. I got a plyo jump box. I didn't jump on it this time. I actually did step ups. I got my dumbbells. I got my kettlebell. I got my ab wheel. And then later, I was just like a kid in a candy store. I was finding other things, and I just kept adding to my leg workout. So I started with step ups. And unfortunately, that particular video, it was hard. I was trying to video myself. I didn't really like how it was shot. So I'm just going to tell you that that's how I started. So you could take, I don't care if it's a 6-inch, a 12-inch, 24. That happened to be a 30-inch step that I used. And I did step ups. And what I did was 10 on each side. But the key was that I was stepping and driving through my heel. So I started out getting more glute specific and hamstring specific. So if you want to write this down, otherwise you can always take this video and go to the end of the show and go back and repeat this for yourself. So I did 3 rounds of this. Okay. So step ups. And the other thing is you want to step up and drive straight down. You don't want to step up on it and then allow yourself to go backwards. You want to stay very specific and very close to the box. Okay. If you have any questions on any of this, or you need any modifications, this is an elevated leg workout. So up, down on the same leg 10 times, then switch legs. Then I went right into the next part of the workout. So I did deadlifts. So you can take a barbell like I'm using here, or you can use dumbbells, or you can use a kettlebell. You can use anything, or you can do them without any weight if you want. I just used the, as you can see here, I used the barbell, and that is 70 pounds that I use. So you've got to find what works best for you. And again, my repetition range on these, I was building more strength, was about 10 to 15. People always ask me, how many reps should I do, Monica? How many sets should I do? What weight should I use? Well, that's where it comes into you hiring me to personal train you, because I can't just do one fell swoop for everyone. I don't know your background. I don't know any medical issues you have. Again, I don't know any illnesses that you have. We've got to work through those. I'll do an assessment with you and really focus on you. We talked about this yesterday. I went hiking with my friend Sally, who is an incredible trainer. And we talked about our frustrations in the industry where you've got people who are training you, tell you to do something, and then they're doing this. What the heck? Fire that person immediately. They don't care about you. They're on their phone, or they're looking across the gym. They're flirting with someone, waving to their friends, and you're like that close to getting injured. Or they're not looking at your form and you're not getting into your goals because you're frustrated. That person doesn't really care about you. Hire a person. I don't care who it is. It doesn't have to be me. There's some really good trainers in this industry, some really bad ones, but some really good ones that generally do care about you. So if you're keeping track here, we did step ups. I did deadlifts. This is one of the things I actually added on at the end. I know it looks like I'm just having fun here, but I'm going to tell you right now, that kicked my butt. That is a tire, and you can push it like I was here. I actually did a couple sets. Pushing down, and I picked a range where I would cross the line, right? So I had a goal in mind. So you can push it, but make sure that you don't have your butt too high in the air, driving through your core. And then I did rounds where they have handles on them, where I was pulling it through. So if you go over to Crunch, try that out, by the way. So tire training, love. They also have the ones in the hit area. If you've seen these, it's like a half tire where you can load on weights. And it's just like you've seen people out in tracks, or we used to take a big real tire, a big monster truck tire to the park, and my clients would flip those. I had a sledgehammer. Again, this is an elevated workout. Sledgehammer, driving with your core and hitting into the tire. So yes, some of you might say, I'm not ready for this workout, and that's fine. I want to make sure that I cover everyone. A lot of times we do a modification workout or a beginner workout. This time I was paying homage to my people that want an elevated workout. I wanted to engage core and legs in this workout. So how many of you have done these? Okay, those are kettlebell swings. And for this particular one, I used a 25-pound dumbbell, and I did 25 reps of this. And I said it again, all of these were done in 3 steps. So this is the only one that was a little higher in repetitions. Notice, again, you're swinging it through the legs, and then I'm thrusting through. Although it may look like I'm using my arms, I'm not. I'm using my core to drive that forward. It's that driving motion forward. Squeeze into the glutes, squeeze your hamstrings, use the core engagement as you come forward. If you have any questions about any of this, let me know. So again, step ups. We did deadlifts, we did tires, we did the kettlebell swing throughs, then went into some walking lunges. And for these, again, I'm in that turf area. So I went down. This is just coming into you at the camera, but I also went both ways. So I did 10 down and then 10 the other way. Jeannie just said, yikes, you go, girl. You know what? But let's address that. Some people might look at this going, there's no way. That means you're giving up on yourself. You don't believe in yourself. You're not going to pick maybe as heavy of a weight that I did, or maybe you don't even do as many repetitions as I did. I would design the program for you, and you'd be surprised what you can do. And then, as I mentioned, I also wanted to get in some core training. So this is old school. My mother still does this, by the way, Jeannie, and she's 87 years old. So the old school ab wheel. How many of you have done that in the past? How many of you have never done it? Or maybe you forgot about it and you want to bring it back into your workout. I'd highly recommend that you do so. It is phenomenal for the entire abdominal wall. This particular one, I did 15 reps. So I'm going to recap this for you because I did add a bunch of different things, and I'll give you the order also. So again, I used that step up box. You love those? Yeah. I did the step up box, 10 repetitions on one leg, then switched to the other. I then actually went into the kettlebell swings. That was the order I did. So I went from my legs into my core. So the kettlebell swings were 25 repetitions. I then grabbed the dumbbells and I went into my walking lunges. And then I went into the deadlifts. The walking lunges, by the way, were 20 total, 10 down, 10 back. Then went into my deadlifts, and for those, I picked a 70-pound barbell, and I did 12 reps. Again, you pick your rep range, depends on what your goals are. And then I went into the ab wheel, and for that I did 15. Now I'm going to stress, whenever you get into doing your workout, make sure you check with your doctor. This is just, again, putting that out there. Your doctor knows what you can and can't do, or maybe check in with your personal trainer, check in with your physical therapist if you want to incorporate this into a workout. I was done with all of that, huffing and puffing, burning some serious calories. And then all of a sudden I saw that tire. So I did the tire by pulling it backwards, getting more of my back chain muscles, pulling backwards, and did 10 down, 10 back, 3 sets. Then I pushed it 10 down, 10 back, 3 sets. And I also had done already a 5-minute warm up, and I did a plank. So make sure you don't just jump into a workout, but get the body moving. Did a plank for about 1.5 minutes, and then I went into all of that. Actually, I take that back. I did a 10-minute stair step warm up. So I was on the stair stepper for 10 minutes, then did another 5 minutes, went into the plank, and then did that whole workout. Anne said, thank God it's Friday. Monica's workouts are the best. Yeah, she's trained with me for a handful of years and is teetering a few pounds from losing 100 pounds with me, folks. So we're talking about whether it's 10 pounds and you want to get ready for swimsuit season, or you've got a significant amount of weight to lose, like Anne did. So yeah, 50, 100, the most a client has ever lost with me is 200 pounds. And just imagine, that is 1 or even 2 people. Like my mom's right about 100 pounds. So that's losing 2 people. Imagine all of that weight on your joints, on your muscles, on your bones, what it does to your neck, what it does to your shoulders, your hips, your knees, your ankles. You're just crushing your body when you have all that extra weight. So it's not for the aesthetic reason that we're trying to get that weight off of you. It is for you to understand longevity in life. Okay. So that's a great workout. That was an elevated one for you. And for those of you that expected that yesterday, sorry, it's a day late. Yeah, Jeannie just said, good job, Ann. Absolutely. So there you go. We brought in the physical side yesterday. It was the self-care. We brought in the mental side for you. And we also always love to bring in the spiritual side as well. So thanks to all. Let's do a little social media check-in. We've got 52 of you on right now. Again, that doesn't populate Instagram or X or LinkedIn. So we've got two other platforms. And as well, I don't even know if it populates my personal page. So we've got 16 of you on Facebook, 2 of you on YouTube, 30 of you on X, 3 of you on Rumble. So again, Instagram is not in there. LinkedIn is not in there. And my other personal Facebook page is not in there. So 50 of you on right now. And what matters is that now that we've done the show and we're getting ready to wrap up, that you do this, that you share, you like, you follow. I'd love to see a bunch of shares to our shows. So that way it gets out to all of your followers and they can get a good workout. They can see the Foodie Friday segment and they can help out those in need. So we've got some exciting things coming up in June that I can't wait to tell you about. And we'll do that when we return.
Discover your full potential with a personalized styling experience. Designing, customizing, and transforming the looks of men and women. Revamp your individual style and embrace what makes you, you. That's real confidence.
And by the way, can I thank the voice behind that promotion that we have about my fashion side? So if you don't know, I am a design and wardrobe consultant for both men and women. Haven't done it in a little while because we've been kind of busy with the brand, but excited to do that. I do that with bespoke apparel. That's where we do the custom work, but I also can be hired to go wherever your favorite store is and help you. So let's talk about fashion. Next week, Wednesday, it is our next Mobile Monica, and it will be at the Vault Luxury Resale, which is right there in the Richmond Heights, the Brentwood area. Makeover show, May 28th at 7 a.m. And I'm talking about luxury to the nth degree, but not at the luxury price. So we're going to sit down with Diana Ford. Can't wait to see her, as well as the team at the Vault. That is next week, Wednesday. And I know yesterday, Jenny had so much fun. Jenny's got some friends that stepped up and wanted to be our models. So they will be a part of it. And also we've got 2 younger girls, excuse me. One of them, Krista, and the other Kinley, they went yesterday to get outfitted as well. So they'll each have 2 outfits. So next Wednesday, be sure to tune in, because what we ask of you is to tell us, Which outfit do you love the best? From the first round, from the second round? We've done these for the last couple of years, and they're always really popular, so can't wait for that. Natalia Diego, thank God it's Friday. Where are you watching from? I don't think I've ever talked with you before. Jeannie said, have a fabulous weekend. Be safe, everyone. You as well. Have a great time in Italy. So that's next Wednesday, the 28th. And then coming up, we mentioned on the 31st, that's when we're going to be out with Brian McKenna Day for the big Your Vibe Attracts Your Tribe from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. And that will wrap up the month of May. And then we've got Mobile Monica's on tap June 5th at J. Bloom, which is in St. Charles County. We're going to talk all about jewelry and the behind the scenes of the entrepreneurship and just the wonderful Jennifer Bonacorsi. We'll have Exit 11 Coffee coming up on June 10th. And then on June 21st, we will be with our friend, your friend as well, because I know a lot of you have gotten to know him, at least through typing in the comment section. Maybe you haven't had a chance to know him personally, but we can't wait on June 21st for the third annual Dudes Playground Poker Run. We've been talking about it a lot. We want it to be the biggest they've ever had. It's at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. We will be doing our broadcast from there on Kaskaskia Road in Waterloo, Illinois. And then we'll be taking off for the poker run. $10 per poker hand, as many hands as you want. All vehicles welcome. You do the 50-50, free food, entertainment. So many people are stepping up, by the way. Thank you to Bandana's Barbecue. Thank you to Trattoria Giuseppe. Thank you to Silo. And then we've even got others that want to step up. So if you want to help, if you can't be there and you want to donate, helping those that have served our country. And that's what Monday is all about. Monday is Memorial Day. And don't forget to memorialize, maybe even go over to Jefferson Barracks and thank those soldiers, thank those on the battlefield that fought for our freedom. And then coming up in July, another makeover show on July 18th, and that's at NCJW. That's going to be for men and women. So let's start getting, I think I've got 3 women that have already said they wanted to do the July show. But what about you guys? Okay. Or what about a couple? I'd love for a boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband and wife to do it together, or maybe even a brother and a sister. Let's get the guys involved. And what is the makeover show all about? It's just you coming in, showing us your regular style. If you're regularly in t-shirts and workout pants, or you're wearing jeans and you want to elevate your style, or maybe you're way up here in fashion and you need a more casual approach. That's what we do with you. Okay, folks, let's wrap things up with your devotional. And yesterday we did Jesus Calling. So today we're going to do Jesus Listens. And then again, this is from Sarah Young. As we head into Memorial Weekend on this May 23rd, my strong shepherd, I come to you with all my weaknesses, spiritual, emotional, and physical. As I rest in the comfort of your presence, I remember that nothing's impossible with you, and I rejoice in you. Help me pry my mind away from my problems so I can focus my attention more fully on you. Lord, you're the one who's able to do immeasurably more than all I can ask or imagine. And instead of trying to direct you to do this and that, I want to attune myself to what you are already doing for me. Whenever anxiety attempts to wedge its way into my thoughts, please remind me that you are my shepherd. Since you are taking care of me, I don't need to be afraid of anything. Rather than trying to maintain control over my life, I want to abandon myself to you. Even though this feels scary and precarious, I know that the most secure place to be is right beside you. In your comforting name, Jesus, amen. So if you want to get these books, start your day with devotionals. Sarah Young, the author of Jesus Calling. These are daily devotional prayers of peace, joy, and hope. She's got Jesus Calling, and she's got Jesus Listens. And then when we're on set, we read from Stephen Arterburn's 100 Days to Freedom. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the show. We had a lot in today's show. The news you could use, your weather. If you didn't see the weather at the beginning, we're talking about a gorgeous day on tap today. I'd highly recommend that today be your day to get outside because unfortunately, as Beckett said, Saturday, Sunday, Monday have rain in them. Doesn't look like the best holiday weekend, but don't let that spoil you. Go out and dance in the rain. Grab your umbrella. Still get outside, enjoy it, be weather aware, follow Beckett on X and YouTube and let him bring you the latest forecast. We are taking Monday off. I'm giving my team the day off. On Tuesday, I can't wait to introduce you to some new interns. I am welcoming Michaela as well as Gabriel. We have Hayden and we have Miranda that will be starting with us in the next couple of weeks. And at some point, I'll put them on camera so you can welcome them aboard. I hope you have a fabulous holiday weekend. Again, big hugs to all of you. Thank you for your undying support for the last couple of years. And remember, we are just getting started. It's all about taking over the world and making a grand impact and changing your life on a mental, physical, and spiritual basis. And all we can ever ask for you to do is reciprocate with kindness. God bless you all. I'll see you Tuesday.